All right, hi everybody. We are live once again. This is Dennis Stoica with Modern Era Warriors. Welcome back for another amazing podcast where we always bring on like-minded people talking about things of what we do, making Warriors 1% better every day in every way. This one's a special for me, guys, because this is actually my 50th podcast. So I'm doing them for a few years.
Congrats,
I don't do a ton, but I bring on people that I care about, love, and again, that matter to people that I work out with and my community. And we're just trying to bring in, again, things that are like-minded people doing what we do, and helping the business owners out as well, providing some content if it creates some good content around what they're doing and
Cool.
how they're doing it and why they're doing it. So, hey, 18 years my business has been in business this month, and we've been working kettlebells since inception almost, right? So this is a very important conversation today, amazing conversation today on kettlebells. And whether you're either loving kettlebells because you use them all the time, you know how amazing they are, and if you have not, I don't know where you've been. Right, you've been under a rock. So hey, we're gonna learn today a little bit about what you don't know. So hey, Kettlebell Transformation. It's a global online coaching program company, right, with dedicated team of highly skilled, qualified fitness, nutrition experts, 100%. They help men get incredibly strong without the gym or complicated routines, 100%. They teach men how to implement the skills, habits, mindset around their health to achieve lifelong results. Again, 100%. I cannot stress enough. They're dedicated to helping everyday men get strong with kettlebells and build a body they're proud of without sacrificing their careers and time with family. They also work with busy men who want to improve their health and build strength at a deeper level. So, hey, Kettlebell Transformation is tailored. It's tailored online fitness and nutrition coaching programs help men reclaim their strength with kettlebells, and gives them skills and tools around their nutrition to eat any food they want and still achieve the body they're looking for. They also help men adopt a mindset of sustainability and right action. So in other words, hey, going to be able to continue this with the community that they have, right? And so which means there's coaching habits at a foundational level that you will learn for long-lasting results. Finally, this is not a cookie-cutter program. It's a fitness or nutrition program. KT has expert kettlebell and body transformation coaches that work with busy men and women on a one-on-one basis. So, hey, this is who we got on today, both co-founders. So I have not done too many podcasts. We're bringing multi-people. This is an awesome opportunity when I have two people running a business, which I have done before. So upper right-hand corner of your screen is going to be a co-founder, Grant Anderson. Grant's is a social media face for the business. You'll see him a lot of the social media pictures, as well as Sean. But he's got over 140,000 followers in his Instagram at Kettlebell Grant. You can find Grant traveling all over the world to golf and swing bells with clients. He's a madman. He's used to be the co-owner of Chicago Primal Gym with Sean, and they spent 7 years crafting basically this world-class kettlebell training program, which is now offered online and through one-on-one coaching, right, for people to get strong and build lifelong skills. Sean of your screen here too, bottom half of your screen, is also the co-founder. He got his start in fitness after quitting his corporate finance job in 2013. He started again Chicago Primal Gym in his backyard, and grew to over 350 members prior to the pandemic. Now he coaches KT clients all over the world out of his home office. While raising his two children alongside his wife in Evanston. And guys, one other thing, right? This is also kind of crazy. Like, I'm from Chicago. I'm born and raised in Chicago. I used to be a cop. When I got in the Marine Corps, I came back, right? I don't live there anymore, but I still love and miss Chicago for food and people and stuff too. So it's awesome having you guys on. Awesome seeing somebody from Chicago like do something what you're doing too. So yeah. Anything else to add by either of you with regards to where you're at, what you're doing, how COVID made changes, anything like that to where you are today and how exciting all this is?
That was an incredible introduction. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't have anything to add that I'm sure we won't get into, but
Okay.
other than the fact that I was at the White Sox game yesterday and they got one hit. So I don't know if you're a Sox fan, but I was at the Sox stadium and they got one hit and I brought my kids and
brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
So did you ever go to the old stadium before they?
Probably not. I mean, I don't think I would have. Maybe, but it would have been. I believe Niski got knocked down in 1990, if I'm not mistaken, and I would have been 4 then. So if I went, I don't remember.
You don't remember. So the new stadium though is like crazy angle. If you're out in the bleachers, anyone ever gets in a fight there, they're all going.
It's scary. Trust me. When I'm walking my 5-year-old down those steps, I'm like, let me go first and let me hold on to your hands. Like it is a visually scary thing to do.
It is a great place, and the regentrification of Chicago has made that area actually pretty darn nice. And you can go to the Greek town afterwards and get some good food. So all good. So hey, guys, I start every question out to everyone I have on here, which is basically the same thing. So who are you? So who is Grant Anderson? Who is Sean Griffin? And what is your why? And that why is, what is your purpose, passion, and principles? I'll even help you out here as a coach, being a performance coach. You can have more than one why. So you can have you can have a why with the kids and the family, right? With the girlfriend, with traveling with your kettlebell in hand to go golfing in their places, right? And do whatever. Or it can be running your business as well and helping out like men too, right? So what do we want to chat about?
Yeah, love it. Go ahead, Grant. Kick us off, man.
What is my why? Well, Sean and I somewhat lead very different lives. Sean's married, he has kids. I'm not married, I have a girlfriend, but I don't have kids. And so, my why, there's multiple whys. I think number one is I want to be of service in some way, shape, or form. That's like the thing that got me into health and fitness in the first place. It's the thing that got me into coaching and being on the floor and us running our gym and running classes. It was just like, how can I help the person in front of me? And we just did it through a vehicle of, workouts and health and fitness. And so that's number one is, being of service. And then number two, both Sean and I we're pretty passionate about building businesses. We did that with the gym, and we're doing that with Kettlebell Transformation. And obviously at the core of that is just obviously trying to serve and give the people in front of you. But we're also just pretty passionate about just business in general, and just trying to understand the game, and
which ultimately still comes back to the same thing. You're serving something greater than yourself.
Right. That's 100%. And it's being able to serve our clients, being able to serve our staff, our team members, and trying to, we're both pretty, we can see this vision of trying to grow something to be pretty big. And the only way that you do that is by helping a lot of people.
Yeah. 100%.
So, that's that's kind of our main goal, and at least where we're at in life right now, currently.
Awesome.
Outside of that, I do love to golf. Love to swing bells, and that's basically it. And work.
All right. And work. We are. Well, but when you're working towards something that you love, right? I think it is true that it doesn't seem so much like work, right? So when you love what you're doing, so cool.
Right. It's just a puzzle. It's just a constant daily puzzle that you're trying to put together.
Yeah. Sean, how about yourself?
Well, like you already introduced, Sean Griffin is my name. And my, I guess, why, purpose, passion, Grant kind of nailed it. He said to be of service. And I can think back to, I started my career, if you want to call it that, in corporate finance. And I was working in the executive suite of this aerospace company. And all of the other people who I worked with were all like C-level executives, all people in their 50s and 60s. And they all across the board were like, boy, if I could go back to being your age again, I would get out of this so fast. I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing here then? And it's kind of like, well, I don't want to do this. It was a 60,000 person organization. And I just felt like, man, I do not want to.
And Sean, were some of those people like your clients that you get now, as far as needing
100%.
your system?
Absolutely, dude. That's a really great. I actually never put that together, but yes, 100% they are.
Yeah.
They were. And I just I remember being in that role, and I didn't like what I was doing, and I was volunteering for after school organizations and stuff. Just like I thought I wanted to be a teacher. I was looking at going into AmeriCorps. Like I just wanted to do something where I felt like the way I was spending my time actually had like a positive impact on other people. And then I kind of fell into fitness by accident and hurt myself. My knee, I got hurt doing someone else's workout program. That individual was unable to kind of solve what was wrong. And so I started to dig in to try to figure it out myself. And that process really got me excited about how you could use fitness as a vehicle for helping people. And one thing kind of led to another. And that was where I figured out, okay, if I want to be of service and actually do something that is really interesting and engaging, then fitness can be that thing.
I want to jump in here for just 1 second too. One thing for myself, right? So I believe being a coach and running my business too, one of the things that I have done, and I'm fortunate enough, I make it such a priority that I find the money to do it. So I find the money to get the performance coach for X and Y or Z, whether that be, private lessons with the kettlebell coach, whether that be private lessons with my Krav Maga coach, whether it's private lessons with my BJJ coach, et cetera, right? So it's about finding what you just said too, right? Other programs hurt you, so I kind of made my own thing at some point too, right? So I think we might have just lost Sean here for a second.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, good.
Well, man, we could go down a rabbit hole there of
Yeah.
What that means and the mindset needed to do that. But at the core there is just you just have a desire. You just have it's also. So it's a desire that comes from like who you are, like who you label yourself as, who you identify as. That goes like, I'm always going to find ways to invest into myself and into my health.
Grant, that comes back to, is your why strong enough? And is it part of your why for people, right? So for the person that needs to lose 70 pounds, Grant, we were just talking before we came live, and Grant had a social media post where he had a client that lost 70 pounds. I've coached people that have had 3-4 other coaches before, and I got, again, almost no results with them. Why? Because it comes back to they don't care. They didn't care enough to do it. Their why wasn't strong enough. But if your why and your will, right, is that if you really believe in that, then you'll create your own program like you guys did, or go out and seek that best that you can. Your guys' program works 100%. I'm part of it. I'm going through it too, right? As a coach too, I go out and get other coaches, and the testimonies you guys have are just insane. So, what's it like to? We might have kind of already answered this question. I think you have, but if you have something else to add, what's it like to be the co-founders together?
Oh, work wise.
Work wise.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting with Grant and I because we've been partners now for, I guess, 11 years. We've been business partners, 50-50. And so
50-50, Grant, I told you, he was live before you, and he was kind of saying he does 80% of the work.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's on paper, 50-50. So to be co-founders of Kettlebell Transformation is actually a really kind of a cool and unique story how it happened, because we were I founded the gym, but Grant and I became partners in 2015. And by 2020, we were ready to have our best year ever. 2019 was our best year. We had everything planned out. We were growing like wildfire. And then COVID hit in 2020, right at the start. It was about an 18-month journey of trying to keep that community alive virtually.
Yeah.
Until we finally decided that we didn't want to go back and open the gym back up. Our lease was about to expire. There were many factors.
And just think how crazy amazing though now, because you've gone from that to helping people worldwide.
Right.
And how many more people, right? It's crazy, amazing opportunity.
Right. And we didn't, at the time we decided to shut down the gym for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons was that we saw a bigger opportunity, which was what we now own and run, which is Kettlebell Transformation. But Grant and I took 3 full months after we shut down Chicago Primal Gym officially, where we just said, we're going to go our separate ways. We're not going to do anything business-wise. We're going to take some time and we're going to decide whether or not we want to go on a next adventure together. And Grant came over to my apartment after I hadn't seen him he came to my home here. I had just moved here. And him and I sat on my back patio, and he was like, and I remember saying to Grant, I was like, are we still partners? And he was like, we're still partners. And I was like, great. And then we decided to start Kettlebell Transformation. I think we launched it the next couple of weeks. And so like that was interesting because it was like we were partners together. We put a full stop to that first business and then had time to decide, are we still going to continue to be partners and founders? And so when we went into Kettlebell Transformation, it was different than the situation with Chicago Primal Gym, where I had founded it and we had become partners after Grant was first an employee. This one was like, okay, we're going to start this one together. I don't know if Grant ever felt any sense of like, I was the founder, he wasn't. I felt it, not in a bad way, but in like a way of like, boy, I want things to feel very much like we are equal partners and everything, that I just always felt that is important so that we could both speak our mind fully. And in this business as co-founders, I think Grant and I had just been working together for so long that we see things very similarly. We have very similar goals. We're extremely open in communication with each other in terms of what our desires are and maybe all the stuff that, irks us or that we're trying to work through. Like we've never been in a situation where I feel like we have not communicated well to each other about what is important to each other. And so in that sense, being founders with Kettlebell Transformation, it's great, man. When I founded Chicago Primal Gym by myself, I was desperate to have a partner before I founded that. That's what took me so long before I finally decided to just open it on my own. And so it's like, I don't want to go on this journey alone. And so, I know a lot of people have partnerships that fall apart and whatnot, but I think if you find the right partner, it's like finding the right partner in marriage. It's like
they do. And right. Again, the old adage, right? Don't go alone, because it will take you twice as long to get there. Right. So you have that coach for that mentor, that community to help you get through it. Right. And so having that best person next to you, like you said, like a spouse, 100%.
Right. Yeah.
I think, well, I was just going to say, I think, I don't think, I know that Sean and I could each go do it on our own. We could each go build a business on our own. But to me, it's much more about like who I'm doing it with. And
the experience, the journey, like they always say, right? Yeah.
It's much more about the journey. And I don't know, it never even crossed my mind to think about separating my partnership with Sean. It just didn't. Awesome. And I think too, it's a lot of times, other entrepreneurs in the online space will talk about partnerships and talk about how, if you're partners and you've got similar skill sets, then you shouldn't be partners. And Sean and I kind of have similar skill sets, but I think when we started KT, the one thing that was different between us was our capacity, was our time. And we separated our roles of when we started KT, it was Sean was coaching clients and I was basically just posting on Instagram and trying to make sales. And we both operated within different capacities at that time of fulfilling the duties that it took to try to get sales, to keep the business going and to fulfill our current clients. And so it just worked. And, it grew from there. So,
and still growing. Let's move on then to the KT approach, right? The Kettlebell Transformation approach. So there's one thing to discuss would be 3 pillars, like 3-pillar approach: fitness, nutrition, and mindset, which are hit, I think, with every client that you have, right? So the fitness aspect of it is it's one-on-one coaching. It's customized to the individual. You're there to educate them on a massive online portal, which teaches them how to do that if they're not familiar with the kettlebell, right? So you can get a fast and running to see some amazing progress within like the first week, a month, 100%, right? And safe, right? Safely done for people that are concerned about, I've never done this before, right? Tons of check-ins within the community, within your coach, right? And you're being held accountable. What else you have with regards to fitness? I guess one thing I'll throw out here too, right? Which I think makes it different with a one-on-one versus like a group class. And this is where before we went live, Grant was talking a little bit about how your even live program with a group was even different than probably a lot of other groups, right? But amazing focus on strength within your program with progressive overload.
Yeah.
Right?
I think without a doubt, the number one difference and the game changer for our program is our coaches. The fact that when you sign up as a new client, you get paired with quite literally the definition of an expert in this field. And not only that, are they an expert who's going to teach you how to do things the right way, but they actually care about you enough to get to know you and to understand what's going on in your life. Because we've said this on many podcasts before that, what we do, 10% of it is organizing things in a way that make the most sense to us for people to get results, right? Organizing how you should execute your nutrition, how you should train and work out on a weekly basis, and how you should do those things, step 1, step 2, step 3, so that you can actually get strong and build muscle, have the functionality and move well into your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. But 90% of what we do is the coaching that gets you to a point where you can do this stuff on autopilot. And the coaching that also helps you get past all of the mental and emotional blocks that will inevitably be in your way of you taking action and being consistent with all of the stuff that you have to be consistent with in order to live the life you want to live from a health and fitness perspective. Because it's not about everyone knows they should work out and they should eat healthy and they should do that stuff consistently. It's not the fact they don't know they should do that. I think most people don't know it. Like, they don't know how we do it in terms of, I think you should try to hit a 32, 40, 48 kg get up. I believe that. But the reason that people are not successful is not because they don't know they should do that. It's because that they let all these other things in their life get in their way of them just consistently taking action. I think the coaching aspect does everything we can to try to at least help meet guys where they're at and help them execute regardless.
And successfully, because you don't need to be doing crazy 1.5 hour workouts every day, 6 days a week, right? If we want to hit a little bit on that, right? Making the time, and it doesn't take, again, the time saved, right? Because you're working with the kettlebells at home. You're not having to go to the gym. Sean, you want to throw something on that, Sean?
Well, yeah. I mean, our whole program, the thesis is that you can get just as good of results in way less time by doing the right things and by removing the steps that it takes to actually do the work that needs to get done. You talked about training at home with kettlebells instead of going somewhere to train. Just the savings alone in any sort of commute and all that goes along with that is already saving you substantial time. And we happen to work with men who typically have demanding careers as well as families at home. And that combination means a lot of their time is already being taken up with other things that are priorities that are non-negotiable in their life. And so the thought of having to spend a lot of time working out or having to go somewhere to work out just doesn't really make sense for them. And creating consistency over a long term is difficult there for a lot of guys. And I think to touch on what Grant talked about in terms of the coaching and strength, our thought process and what we experienced teaching kettlebells at the gym was that when people felt the feeling of progressing, specifically with the Turkish get up, like to pinpoint one single progression, that was something where people who had never really felt successful with fitness or with lifting all of a sudden started to feel really proud and really excited about getting stronger, specifically with that one exercise. And then over time, we also learned that unlocking the next set of skills for an individual is also a way that they can feel. So like mastery and progression, those two things keep people excited about training. Whereas if you're just like doing random workouts all the time and that's all you're doing, you're going to inevitably probably get bored and want to switch things up. And our whole point is like, you don't want to switch things up. You want to stack skills. You want to stack strength, because those things will keep you engaged.
And your program is definitely doing that. We were talking about that before we got you on board, Sean, and before we went live, right? So I think, in one of, I'll tell you how I've been teaching a lot, right? In a group class, strength is relative on the individual. We can talk about what strength really is, right? But there's a difference between swinging a 97-pound kettlebell or a 50-pound kettlebell, right? And when you're teaching 20 people, 10 people, whatever it may be, 5 people in a group class, it's different than one-on-one, right?
Totally.
And if you're trying to do a maybe total body workout, people are picking a weight that they can maybe do the whole workout with. But when I'm at home and I got my 5-6 kettlebells, like I see that you guys got at home, and I got my basement, right? My dungeon, right? Yeah. All your tools are listed. They're right next to you. They're 3 feet away. You just grab the next one, so I can work my 100-pound goblet squat, and then I can go to the next thing, right, and do something else, right? So you can mix and match very easy yourself, especially when you're doing it privately in home. And the coaching keeps you consistent too, I believe, right? So Grant, the coaches do an amazing job with making sure that you're hitting your workouts, you're doing them, and you're building that commitment. So hopefully someday they have enough of that inside that they do continue, right? And they have the greater success even when they leave the program after, if they do. I mean, you guys have got some people been, how many hundreds of workouts have some of your people that have been with you?
Many.
Oh yeah.
I mean, our client who's probably the furthest in is getting ready to hit his 800th workout.
Yeah.
And at the gym, we had people hit 800, 900 before it shut down. And that's kind of what we mean in terms of like when you find how to progress your strength and you're also learning a skill set, you stop chasing just random variety and you start actually enjoying training for the feeling of getting better at something. I think that's what most people actually want, is like, I want to feel successful. I want to feel like I'm making progress, not like I'm just randomly showing up and getting sweaty. Yeah. And if that's what you like to do and you're already fit, cool. But if you're not already fit and you're not already consistent, well, the best way to get fit is to actually become skilled. And progress up to heavier weights, because that will allow you to get and stay fit much easier than just randomly sitting on an exercise bike or doing a HIIT class or whatever.
In one of the 18 years in the business this month, right? And one of the reasons I've used kettlebell since inception is because it's functional movement and not sitting at the machine.
Yeah.
Right. You can build in rotation and a lot of the things that we could talk about too, as far as how to program it and with people too and what they're doing. Right. They're not just sitting at the bench press or sitting on a pec deck machine.
Yeah.
The nutrition piece as well too, right? So don't need to be on a restrictive diet. Don't need a dietitian, right? I mean, people are seeing it's simple guidance that you're giving people, and I won't give out like the secret sauce, but there's
you can give it. Yeah, you can give it.
All right, there's everybody out there. Seriously, there's a one-pager, right? I live off this too because I'm a coach in this other aspect, right? Which is they're promoting the specific way of eating, diet, whatever, right? One-pager. Everything's on a one page. If you're eating whole foods that are on this one page and not snacking and other stuff, and 90% of your meals are coming from it, right? 90%. So Grant just did a social media post on this. It was like, if you eat 3 meals a day out of your 21 times, right? 90% of that is whatever you came up with. I forget, it was something like that, right? You came up with, so you can only have 2 cheat meals a week, right? There's some social media post we just you threw out there. Let's talk. Either one of you, just jump in a little bit on the nutrition piece for people.
Go ahead, Seamus.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I will just say, like, we are not nutritionists. We are not certified nutritionists. Like, some people maybe have an actual need for a nutritionist. So I don't want to say that's not true. Our feeling is that as long as there are not underlying issues that somebody needs to see a specialist for, the real thing is you just need to be eating high quality foods, real whole food, not processed foods. And you need to be eating in the right quantity for your goals and your body type. It's pretty simple. There's a wide variety of proteins that are going to work based on what you enjoy. There's a wide variety of carbohydrates that are going to work. There's a wide variety of different healthy fats and vegetables. You don't need to give up any of those food groups in order to have a healthy, balanced diet. Now, you may have somebody who can naturally handle more carbs and less fat, and somebody who can naturally handle more fat and less carbs. That's fine. Those adjustments are easy to make based on your body type. But for the most part, you need to consume plenty of lean protein, and you need to have whole foods surrounding that. And if you do that, it just becomes a matter of, okay, let's get your quantities roughly in the range that they should be if your goal is to lose weight or if your goal is to build muscle. Like your body will respond based on inputs. And so what we do in our program is we help people focus on the quality of their food. Like you said, a one-pager that's got a bunch of different foods and all.
That's where you start. That's where you start, and then you move. And then you move into the quantities of the carb, the protein, the fat.
Just like our training program, right? What you said, it's not cookie cutter, which I think is an interesting kind of way to look at it, because in reality, we've had almost 1,700 men come into our one-on-one coaching program, and every single one of them, unless for some reason they were unable to, started with the exact same training program and has gone through the exact same training progression. So in a sense, it is kind of cookie cutter, but our thought process is the customization comes around where you're starting with your weight, what your skill looks like. The customization with the nutrition is the same progression for every guy. Foodless for 2 weeks, hand portion for 2 weeks. Now start measuring and tracking so you can actually learn precisely what your body needs. And then we go from there. So that's a cookie cutter progression as well. The customization is, what's your life look like? When are you going to train? Where are you going to train? What weight do we need to start with? What foods do you enjoy eating? That's where customization happens. So what you want is a proven plan and a proven roadmap. And then you want somebody to guide you through it who can help you go over the hurdles that you're going to experience in your life. That's what the coaching is for.
And I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing the point that you hit on. Yes, someone might need a nutritionist because of a health issue or a medical issue, right? But that's probably 10%, if that, of the population still, right? That there's something that very specific that a doctor would recommend something for them, right? So the program is for everybody, almost for everybody, right? And you can still work with a doctor and still be on your program as well.
Right.
For sure. Absolutely. The nutrition,
we're not doctors, but we've had many people come to us on diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, and I'm not going to say that they got off of it because of our program, but their doctors advise them to get off those things after going through what we teach and after dropping their body fat and exercising consistently and walking. So I think it's like, boy, I would love everyone to just try the intervention of actually taking care of yourself first before you go.
It's amazing, right? Before we go to the doctor.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's not to say that some people don't need to go to the doctor and get pharmacological intervention and whatever. Like we have to, obviously, as professionals here, need to be careful about that. But
the other thing, Sean, I have to say too, it would be nice if the doctors actually, instead of putting people on medications, would work more with a holistic persons with coaches, and whether that's dietitians or fitness experts, right? To bring in what you guys do too.
My belief is that it's the rare human being who is not going to benefit from walking, exercising consistently, and eating whole foods. And if you have these problems that a lot of people have with their health, it would be very rare to me to find somebody who's walking consistently, exercising consistently, and eating whole foods, and also has those problems. If that's your case, then yes, you should go to a doctor and figure out what's going on there, because something must be off. Because humans are humans. When they exercise consistently, eat whole foods consistently, and resistance train, they tend to be relatively healthy, barring other things that would be outside of the control of that realm, which is, we stay in that realm and we say, let's optimize this first, and then see what the picture tells us.
And the nutrition, one more thing on the nutrition, I think it's really a process of awareness building for people, because people, I can't tell you the number of men who come to KT who are 240, 250, 260 plus pounds. They need to lose 30, 40, 50 plus pounds. And they tell me, no, I eat healthy most of the time. Well,
until you find out what to eat.
Well, it's like, okay, you might realize when you go through this process what that means to eat healthy most of the time, and because if you actually are doing the things that we talk about in our program, your foods are probably going to look like this. Your meals are probably going to look like this. Your breakdown of, carbs, proteins, and fats for your body type are going to look like this. And it might truly be a situation where there's a level of they just did not know, like, oh, I thought I was eating healthy, but I'm eating all these protein sources that are also super high in fat. And so my fat is through the roof on a daily basis. And so that it becomes this for guys that come in and they're wanting to really learn and understand this stuff. It becomes a process of like, oh, I actually did not realize eating the way that I was eating before, what I thought was healthy, wasn't serving me.
Right.
All right, let's shift to mindset a little bit, right? Small daily wins versus all or nothing mindset, right? Because it is a huge. I think again, the way your program builds, there's small daily wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I always tell people that if they have an all or nothing mindset, I said usually people label that as negative, but I give them the permission to be like, it's not negative. You just haven't been all in on the right thing yet. Because guys who come in and they're all in on KT, well, they get pretty great results. So like, I don't, I have no problem with you being all in. Now being all or nothing as in like you start and then you quit consistently.
Yeah.
And yes, I would agree with that.
So that's just the all in versus all or nothing then. So
because that's kind of the thing. It's interesting, right? You want to go down that rabbit hole. Like if you become an individual who is healthy, and like Sean said, you work out consistently, eat whole foods consistently, you walk consistently. Well, you kind of are at your foundation. You are all in on like, I'm never not gonna be focused on my health.
Yeah.
So I am all in on it. Now, sometimes I might be, not be perfect, and that's fine.
Right. You're just redefining what nothing is or what all is, right?
Exactly.
All doesn't mean perfection.
Exactly.
You're never not going to do this.
Right. And the idea that people come in, they're like, well, I'm going to be perfect. If I'm not perfect, well, I'm going to quit. Well, it's like, well, that's going to be a really hard mindset to have for your entire life.
We're going to have days that we fail. We're going to have days that we're tired. We're going to like, I can go down there and I'm like, I worked so hard yesterday. I didn't get enough sleep. I'll grab a smaller bell. You have to also really know and realize your body sometimes too, right? And make some adjustments along the way with your coach and yourself too. So,
dude, that's a great point too, because I think what we have a set progression, right? Where you're supposed to be using specific weights, but we are very much of exactly what you just said, which is like, you have to listen to your body. But the thing is when guys are not consistent, they don't get those cues from their body. The only way you get those cues is when you're consistently doing it and you can actually feel the difference between, boy, I feel great today versus, boy, I don't feel great today. Right. And you can actually know because you've been tracking your steps, your nutrition, your training, your sleep. You've been actually paying attention to that stuff. So you can pinpoint, oh, you know what? I bet it's from this. And then
I don't feel bad when I have to grab a lighter bell downstairs sometimes. So like I'm just that exhausted. I'm doing my TGUs and I'm like, I go one bell lighter.
Right. There's nothing to feel bad about because in our process, you mentioned small daily wins to kick this conversation off. Our process is, look, your anchor habit is 4 green check marks every week. A green check mark means you did a workout. I made a post about this last week. I had a 4th workout that I had to do before we left for a family trip to Ireland. And my wife was like, dinner's going to be ready in 10 minutes. And I'm like working at the computer. I'm like, shit, I got to get up and do something because I haven't worked out and this is the last chance I have. I went and did 5 get-ups in a row on my right and 5 get-ups in a row on my left with a bell that we have in my bedroom. My wife trains in our bedroom. And she only has up to a 32. And it's like all that was there. And it's like, well, I don't want to go downstairs because I go downstairs and Amanda sees me go into the garage. She's going to be pissed because I'm like going in the garage to train. And she just said dinner's going to be ready. And so I go into the room. I'm like, okay, 32 kg. I can do 5 get-ups in a row on each side. And I'm like, that's the green check mark because all I care about is continuation of the process and that daily win of I showed up and I did it. Like that's what matters way more than like, well, I didn't have 40 minutes, so I'm not going to do anything. That's all or nothing.
Yeah.
What's amazing is the excitement in your voice too for both of you today, right? So you guys have been doing this a long time and you're excited to work out yourself. You're excited that the results that it helps you bring around your family, right? And to be with your kids and go on vacation. You're excited that it actually works for people.
Yeah.
You have amazing conversations. You can tell by talking to you today, right? It just comes out as well. So guys, are we doing good on time? Can I go a little longer?
Unfortunately, I am going to have to hop off because I got to pick my daughter up. I have like 8 more minutes before I got to go pick my daughter up.
Okay, good to go. Well, I'll give me 8 more minutes. Awesome.
Yeah, I got I'm happy to do it.
Let's real quickly. Let's talk about the online programming. The information that's on school, the classroom content, the community, the app, the one-on-one coaching. It kind of the technology that goes along with it too, right? Length of the program, beginner program is 4 months for someone coming in to do the TGUs, and then it moves into mastery, et cetera. If you want to talk a little bit about that and how it maybe addresses fundamental movement, push, pull, hinge, squat, lunge, carries, things of that nature.
Yeah. Well, like you said a couple minutes ago, kettlebells are movement based, right? So when someone comes in, the very first thing we're focused on is getting them to the point where they can do kettlebell swings, simple 2-hand kettlebell swings, and Turkish get-ups, like the foundation of everything that we do. And from a technology standpoint, experience standpoint, they come in, a client comes in, we have 2 platforms that they're focused on. One is school, which is where our community lives, is where if someone wants to go and dig in and learn the why behind all of the things that they're doing, we have a full classroom in there where they can come in and dig into that stuff. It's also where our community posts. We have a community training and accountability thread where when guys train every single week, they go and post their green check marks that Sean talked about in that thread. It's got over 30,000 comments on it. And we started this school group
a year ago.
Yeah, think, right? Maybe a little more than that, but
was it 2 years ago? It's probably August.
2 years ago. Yeah. So the first couple of years we didn't have this group. So we're probably at like 60,000 workouts by now. And then they have their app, which is their daily coaching app, which is every day they wake up, they see, here's my training, my nutrition, daily checklists, interaction with my coach. This is where my stats populate. So literally everything that you need to do on a daily basis is right there. You don't got to think about it. Here's exactly, if I get this stuff done, I'm on track to reach goals that I have. And then, like we mentioned, we build people up systematically over time through, mastery and strength progression of learning the skills. We have milestones that we want guys to get to before they learn the next skills. We have ways with which our coaches will teach guys live over Zoom, as well as personalized video feedback. And every person that comes in has a very clear roadmap for them of, okay, what's my next milestone? 2 weeks from now, what am I looking to hit? And that becomes, I tell a lot of guys when we talk to them before they join, is like that becomes the thing that creates a lot of internal motivation, is you just see clearly where I'm going to be in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 16 weeks.
Right.
And then when they start hitting those milestones, it's like, okay, they promised me that I would feel this way or be hitting this at this point, and then I hit it and I feel amazing. I feel like a beast. Like, okay, I'm going to keep believing them.
Right. Dude, that's the most important thing I think you could possibly say, because like guys don't take action on this stuff because they aren't certain if what they're doing is the right thing, and they don't exactly know where they're going. But once you have those two things solved, like once an external source who's an expert can verify for you that you're doing the right things and can clearly lay out, like, here's where we're going, just because it's just so much easier to be like, okay, I'll walk down that path. Or you could decide, I don't want to walk down that path. But either way, you have clarity. And I think clarity is why most people don't act, because they're just overwhelmed with everything that's happening in their life.
You can be very, very overwhelmed with what's going on in your life and all the other fitness options and the new gadgets and the shiny things that
it all works.
Everyone likes it.
It all works. Like,
so for time purposes, I want to make sure I get at least 2 more questions in real quick for you too, Sean, when I got you here, right? Where do you believe KT is going to be in 5 years? New audience targeting, maybe some camps, some live trainings.
Man,
that's
such a cool question. Well, I'll tell you this: Grant and I definitely both want to continue to grow our one-on-one coaching business, because we've coached in large group settings. We've done large online with no accountability and coaching, but just like large group communities, and we've done one-on-one coaching. And in our experience, the one-on-one coaching structure produces the deepest transformations, and we are all about the deepest transformations. Now, we want to have as wide of an impact as possible as well, but we don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity. Our goal is to help as many people as possible to truly transform their health, to build the strength, to fall in love with kettlebells, to have bodies they're proud of. And we believe that happens most predictably when they have someone to guide them towards those goals, rather than trying to do it on their own or just do it in a community. Now, if that works for you, awesome. I love it. That's why we have other tiers that allow people to have some coaching. We even have tiers where there's no coaching and everything is just laid out for you. I think without discussing with Grant, I would say we absolutely both can see a world in the future where we are doing in-person stuff again, not owning a gym and running classes, but having people come to us to learn these skills in person. We've done a few in-person events with our clients, some retreats
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like retreats, events, things of that nature.
Our retreats. We did one in Chicago. We did one in Scottsdale. We did one in Austin over the last couple of years. They were all awesome. Lots of hands-on teaching. Lots of just men getting together and talking about life and business and kettlebells. So those are great, and we'll continue to do those for sure. Just building community and delivering results.
Grant, I got Sean for about 2 more minutes. Anything else to add? And then because I still got one amazing question to finish up with both of you.
Yeah, we got 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I the only thing I'd probably add to that is, 5 years from now, I would say it's probably our hope and goal that we continue to build our brand, and that if you are a guy out there who wants every result that our program or our mission stands behind, which is like our mission is to help guys fall in love with, get strong, fall in love with kettlebells, build a body that they're proud of, really lead their family from a health and fitness perspective. If you're a man who wants to do that in your life, that they would look to Kettlebell Transformation, the brand, for those answers, whether it's free content or it's different levels of working with us, in coaching or non-coaching. So like that would be if we don't do that, if we don't, in 5 years from now, if we're not like the gorilla in the marketplace for the solution for that man, then we will have done something wrong, probably.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So I don't know who's going to go first, but if you could have one superhero power, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
I would fly. I don't have any doubt about that.
All right.
Yeah. That'd be mine.
So you'd want to be what? What's Superman?
I just want to be able to fly. I mean, I guess if it's a superhero power, I'd want to be able to fly.
Superhero power.
Fast.
Like Flash? Is that who flies fast?
Yeah. No, Flash runs. Yeah.
I don't know. I always loved Spider-Man as a kid. Spider-Man was such a badass. I don't know why I lean towards that. And then I realized it's not a superpower, but I also loved the Batman movies, but he doesn't have superpowers. He's just rich.
Batman's cool.
That would be your superpower. I'd be super rich.
All right, guys. Where can everybody go to learn more, sign up, learn more about you guys, have that initial conversation, and start talking about moving forward with a coach?
Well, I would probably advise you to go check out Grant's Instagram. It's very active at Kettlebell Grant on Instagram. We do have a YouTube as well at the Kettlebell Guys. There's actually quite a lot of great stuff on there. We're just not like super active there. And then you can go to our website, kettlebelltransformation.co. Some great info there. You can see a lot of stuff that we're about. You can meet almost everyone on our team is on that site. I might need to update it with a few guys, but all of our coaches are there. All of our supporting staff is there as well. Those would be the places to start. And if you're on the internet and you're on Instagram and Facebook, you've probably seen our ads before. We do spend a lot on paid advertising. So most, maybe you've seen us already.
Message Dennis and ask him about it. If you're interested, message Dennis. Just say,
there you go.
Nothing wrong with that too. Hey, your best advertising is your clients, right?
Yeah, totally.
To bring on more people that if something's worked for them, right? It may work for their body or their family members as well. So,
dude, having us on your podcast and wearing KT's shirt.
Come on now. I will say this, by the way. I usually wear my own business shirt. So, but today I wore your guys' shirt today.
Wow.
100%.
You look incredible.
Awesome. So, all right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna make good on my time here, commitment as well. And but I'll ask you to hold just 1 second while I say goodbye to everybody, please. Thank you guys for both showing up here, Grant and Sean. I greatly appreciate you. For everybody, thanks for tuning in. Check them out. 100%. Add this to your life. There's no reason not to. You can still do this too and still be doing some other things in the gym, but it is a holistic program where you don't have to do anything else. So, hey, until next time, train hard, train smart, train safe, train real, and train for life. We'll see you in the next one, everybody. Take care.